A human soldier's little twins helped a cat warrior in the market. Then he went cold at face he knew. Lanterns floated above the streets, glowing softly in shades of green and purple, reflecting off the polished metal stalls and the slick stone floor. Strange smells mingled in the air, roasted alien fruits, spices that made the nose tingle, and the faint, sharp scent of metal from some of the traders' wares. The human soldier moved slowly through the crowd, his two young children close at his sides. They were twins, a boy and a girl, 7 years old, full of energy and curiosity. Their small hands clutched his, yet they wriggled and pointed at everything they saw, voices buzzing with excitement. The human soldier had long left the battlefield behind. Years of war and conflict had taught him discipline, patience, and caution. But those lessons seemed distant as he watched his children marvel at the alien world around them. The boy tugged at his sleeve, pointing at a stall that displayed glimmering orbs, each one swirling with colors like miniature galaxies. The girl ran ahead, laughing, her small feet barely touching the ground as she darted toward a vendor selling mechanical toys shaped like strange animals with wings and multiple eyes. "Careful," the soldier said, his voice calm but firm. He was tall and broad, moving with the quiet confidence of someone who had survived battles far beyond what most could imagine. His eyes swept the crowd constantly, noting every movement, every potential threat. Though the market seemed lively and friendly, his instincts reminded him that danger could hide anywhere. The twins were oblivious to that danger, their laughter ringing out like bells. They stopped suddenly, both pointing toward a narrow alleyway between two large stalls. A figure darted into the shadows, a cat-like alien warrior with fur the color of burnt copper and eyes sharp and intelligent. He carried a small, gleaming weapon strapped across his back. He was being chased by two larger, rough-looking aliens, their claws and teeth bared as they advanced with menacing speed. The human soldier's hand tightened around the girl's, pulling her back instinctively. But before he could step forward, the twins had already slipped past him. The boy dashed toward the alley, the girl close behind, shouting at the cat warrior, "Over here! This way!" The cat warrior hesitated for a split second, surprised by the boldness of these small humans. Then he nodded and ran toward the twins, weaving through crates and barrels that lined the alley. The pursuing aliens followed, but the twins were quick, pointing out obstacles, knocking over barrels, and even tossing small objects to distract them. Each action, small and playful in appearance, was calculated, clever, and effective. The cat warrior moved with grace, his agility unmatched, but even he could not have escaped without the children's help. He leapt over a tipped-over crate just as one of the thugs tripped, sending a loud crash echoing through the alley. The twins giggled, and the cat warrior allowed himself a small, rare smile. There was something remarkable about these humans, so small, so young, yet so brave and clever. Finally, they reached a wider street where the crowd of market-goers blocked the pursuing aliens. The cat warrior's breathing was steady despite the chase, a testament to his warrior training, but he looked at the twins with a mix of astonishment and gratitude. "You saved me," he said in a low, smooth voice. I did not expect such help from humans, especially not children." The boy shrugged, his chest puffed out with pride. "We like helping," he said simply, "and you looked like you needed it." The girl nodded vigorously, adding, "Yeah, you can come play with us anytime." The cat warrior's ears twitched. He did not understand the concept of play the way humans did, but he sensed the sincerity, the courage, and the fearlessness behind their words. In a world filled with threats, these small humans, had acted with instinctive bravery and quick thinking. The human soldier arrived a moment later, slightly out of breath but unharmed. He looked at his twins, a mixture of pride and concern on his face. "What were you thinking?" he asked, though his tone lacked real anger. "You could have been hurt." "They weren't hurting us," the girl said, tilting her head. "We were helping him." The soldier's eyes softened as he looked at the cat warrior, who was now crouched slightly, still alert but calm. "And you?" he asked, his voice steady, measuring the alien's response. "I am fine," the cat warrior replied. "Thanks to them, you are humans." "Yes," the soldier said simply. "My children." The cat warrior studied the twins, his gaze sharp but not hostile. "I have fought many warriors, faced many dangers, but I have not seen courage like this in those so small. Your species, you are unpredictable." The human soldier felt a small, proud smile tug at his lips. Humans were indeed unpredictable, clever, and resilient. It was a truth he had seen time and again in battles across stars, but to see it reflected in his children brought a warmth he had not expected. "Let's get somewhere safe," he said finally, taking the twins' hands again. "We'll talk, but not here." The cat warrior followed silently, ears twitching as he moved with grace. They walked through the market, passing stalls selling shimmering fabrics, alien fruits that glowed faintly, and strange mechanical devices. Everywhere, eyes turned toward them, curious at the unusual sight of a human soldier with small children accompanied by a cat-like warrior. They reached a quiet square where the noise of the market faded into a distant hum. The cat warrior sat on a low stone bench, still alert but clearly at ease. "You are a soldier," he said to the human, his voice careful. "I can tell by the way you move, the way you watch everything." "I was," the human soldier admitted. "A long time ago, now I am just a father." "Yet even as a father you move with the instinct of a warrior," the cat warrior said. "Instincts that may yet be needed." The twins, unconcerned with such serious talk, ran around the square, playing a game that seemed to mimic the chase in the market. They laughed, their voices carrying in the quiet evening air. The cat warrior watched them with a rare softness in his eyes. There was something about these small humans, so fragile in appearance yet so bold, that inspired admiration. "I do not understand your species fully," the cat warrior admitted. "You are small, weak in comparison to many warriors, yet your mind, your instincts, you can turn the impossible into possible." The human soldier nodded slowly. "That's humanity. We survive because we adapt. We think, we improvise, and we protect those we care about." He looked at his children, who had now stopped running to listen. "And sometimes we do things we don't even realize until after." The cat warrior's eyes gleamed. "Then perhaps your species is worthy of respect. Perhaps worthy of alliance." The twins, overhearing the word alliance, looked at each other and then at the cat warrior. "You want to be friends with us?" the girl asked. The cat warrior tilted his head, ears twitching. "Yes, friends for now." The human soldier studied him for a moment, his instincts alert. Trust came slowly for one who had fought in many wars, but there was something genuine in the cat warrior's gaze, something that resonated with the human sense of honor and fairness. He nodded. "Friends," he said. As the sun began to dip behind the tall alien spires surrounding the square, the market's energy faded slightly, replaced by a calm that felt almost peaceful. The human soldier, his twins, and the cat warrior sat together, sharing quiet moments amidst the alien city. The soldier allowed himself to relax, if only a little. His children were safe. The cat warrior was no longer under immediate threat. And for a brief moment, he could imagine a future where humans and alien allies could face challenges together, not through strength alone, but through cleverness, courage, and the bonds of family. Yet even in this calm, the soldier could not shake the feeling that the city held more dangers than they realized. Shadows lingered in alleys, and not all eyes were friendly. He felt the weight of his training, the instincts of a soldier that never truly rested. There was a sense of tension beneath the surface, a quiet warning that the events in the market were only the beginning. The twins laughed again, chasing each other in circles, unaware of the deeper currents around them. The cat warrior watched, seemingly at ease, yet his body remained ready, alert to any sudden movement. The human soldier looked at his children and then at the cat warrior. "We'll see what comes next," he said quietly, more to himself than to anyone else. "But whatever it is, we'll face it together." For now, in the heart of the alien city, surrounded by colors, sounds, and the faint scent of distant spices, there was laughter, there was courage, and there was hope. The small humans had acted bravely, the cat warrior had survived, and the world, at least for this moment, felt a little brighter because of them. And somewhere deep in the shadows, unseen by all, eyes watched, calculating, waiting. The market was calm for now, but the human soldier knew better than to trust too easily. Challenges would come, and when they did, humans would show once again why they were a species not to be underestimated. For now, though, he simply held his children's hands, shared a quiet nod with the cat warrior, and allowed himself to believe in the strange, unpredictable power of human courage. The days after the market incident passed quietly, but the human soldier could not forget the cat. Warriors. The twins, of course, could not stop talking about him, retelling the chase and their clever tricks as if it had been the grandest adventure of their lives. Each morning, As the three of them wandered the streets of the alien city, they noticed subtle changes. The market, which once seemed vibrant and bustling, now carried an undercurrent of unease. Vendors whispered to each other in hurried tones, glancing nervously at the passers-by. A sense of tension had begun to settle over the city like a slow fog. The twins, oblivious to danger, continued to explore, chasing after mechanical toys, colorful trinkets, and glowing fruits. Their laughter carried through the streets, but the human soldier kept a careful eye on them. He had learned long ago that even the most innocuous places could hide threats. His instincts told him that something was stirring in the shadows, something connected to the cat warrior, and the thought both intrigued and worried him. Late one afternoon, as the sun's light turned the market's metallic surfaces golden, the cat warrior appeared again. He moved with grace and precision, his copper fur glinting and his eyes sharp with focus. The twins ran toward him without hesitation. "You came back," the girl shouted, her eyes wide with excitement. "Did you miss us?" The cat warrior's ears twitched. He did not understand the concept of missing someone the way humans did, but he had felt something in that brief encounter that he could not ignore. "I need your help," he said, his voice low and serious. "There is trouble in the market more than before. Criminals are moving illegal weapons through hidden channels. If I do not act, many will be hurt." The twins' eyes sparkled with excitement, their curiosity outweighing any fear. "We can help," the boy exclaimed, already bouncing on his toes. The human soldier felt a pang of concern. Helping in the market could be dangerous, but he could not deny his children's courage. And in truth, he was curious himself. Humans had always thrived by taking risks, adapting, and outthinking stronger opponents. This could be another test of that very skill. "Very well," he said finally, his voice calm and firm. "But we must be careful. We cannot rush blindly." The cat warrior nodded, his tail swishing in agreement. Together, the group began to follow the subtle patterns of the market, observing the vendors, the customers, and the movement of goods. The twins were invaluable. Their small size allowed them to slip between stalls unnoticed, their keen eyes spotting unusual packages and overhearing snippets of conversations. As they investigated, the twins demonstrated cleverness that surprised even the cat warrior. The boy noticed a faint symbol carved into a crate, a sign he had seen on other suspicious shipments. The girl found a hidden lever under a table that revealed a secret compartment containing small but dangerous devices. Together, they guided the cat warrior and their father through the network of alleys and stalls, helping them gather information while remaining unseen. The human soldier watched quietly, his respect for his children growing. Even at their age, they showed traits that humans had relied on for generations: adaptability, intelligence, and the courage to act without hesitation. He quietly gave them pointers on timing, positioning, and observation, teaching them the basics of tactics without drawing attention. The twins absorbed every word, eager and quick to learn. As evening approached, the cat warrior paused, ears twitching, eyes narrowing. "I see him," he whispered. The human soldier followed his gaze and saw a figure moving with deliberate, menacing steps near the far end of the market. The figure was unmistakable, a rival warrior, someone the cat had not seen in years but had never forgotten. His presence radiated danger, and he was clearly looking for someone. The human soldier's chest tightened. Something about the figure seemed familiar, stirring memories he had buried long ago. His training sharpened instantly, every muscle tensing, every sense alert. He did not recognize the alien warrior personally, but there was an echo of old battles, a sense of history that made his blood run cold. The cat warrior crouched low, his tail twitching. "He is dangerous," he said, "and he knows me." The twins did not fully understand the tension, but they sensed the seriousness. They moved closer to their father instinctively, seeking reassurance. The human soldier knelt slightly, placing a hand on each of their shoulders. "Stay close," he said quietly. "Watch and learn, but do not act recklessly." The rival warrior approached, his eyes scanning the crowd, every step measured, deliberate. He carried weapons that gleamed under the fading light, and his movements spoke of experience and lethal skill. The cat warrior stepped forward, blocking the path, his stance defensive but confident. "You survived," the rival warrior said in a low, mocking voice. "I thought I had seen the last of you years ago." The cat warrior's ears flattened slightly. "I have survived," he replied. "And I will continue to do so." The human soldier's heart pounded. He felt a chill as memories of past battles resurfaced, battles he had fought far from this city, against enemies who were relentless and cunning. The rival's tone and presence triggered every memory, every instinct he had honed over years of war. Yet he remained calm, knowing that his role now was to protect his children and aid the cat warrior, not to be overwhelmed by fear. The twins, curious and brave, peeked around their father, whispering to each other. "Do you think he's going to fight?" the boy asked. "I think so," the girl replied, eyes wide. "But we can help him, right?" The human soldier glanced down at them, a mixture of pride and concern in his eyes. "Yes," he said quietly, "but you must follow my instructions exactly." The rival warrior advanced, his gaze locking on the cat warrior. The market seemed to fade around them, the noise of the crowd diminishing as tension filled the air. The cat warrior moved with precision, anticipating the rival's strikes, dodging and countering with skill. The twins immediately took action, their small size allowing them to create distractions, toppling crates, knocking over stalls, and signaling their allies with quick gestures. The human soldier joined the fray, but not with brute force. He used strategy and clever timing, positioning himself to block paths, cut off escape routes, and anticipate the rival's moves. Together, the humans and the cat warrior created a chain of clever maneuvers, a dance of brains and agility rather than raw strength. The rival warrior, skilled and ruthless, was initially confident, but the unpredictability of the humans, especially the twins, threw him off. Small hands, quick thinking, and fearless hearts disrupted his plans in ways he had not anticipated. Each time he moved to strike, the twins had already altered the environment, using barrels, ropes, and simple tricks to block, confuse, and mislead him. The cat warrior, impressed, realized that these humans were unlike any warriors he had faced. Strength alone did not make a warrior great. The human soldier's tactics, combined with the twins' ingenuity, created a force that was far more dangerous than it appeared. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. The market seemed suspended in time, the crowd holding its collective breath. Then, with a final clever maneuver from the twins, dropping a heavy crate that narrowly missed the rival warrior but blocked his path completely, the opponent stumbled. The human soldier seized the opportunity, moving with precision to corner him without striking, forcing him to retreat. The rival warrior hissed in frustration, his eyes narrowing as he retreated into the shadows. The cat warrior lowered his weapon slightly, breathing evenly but alert. He looked at the twins and then at their father. There was a moment of silence, a shared understanding of what had just occurred. "You are clever," the cat warrior said quietly. "Your species, you fight not just with strength but with wit. You are dangerous in ways few understand." The twins beamed, proud of their contribution, though they were already thinking of the next game they could play. The human soldier felt a rush of pride for his children. He had always known humans were clever, resilient, and brave. But to see it reflected in his young children was a powerful reminder of why humanity had survived against so many odds. As the market returned to normal, the noise and chatter slowly rising again, the human soldier spoke to the cat warrior. "We will help you, but always carefully. Strength is one thing, but knowledge and preparation are just as important. That is what humans excel at." The cat warrior's ears twitched. "I see that now. I underestimated humans before. I will not make that mistake again." The twins ran ahead, laughing, chasing after a glowing fruit that had rolled down the street. The human soldier allowed himself a small smile, watching them with quiet pride. They were small, yes, but their courage and cleverness could change outcomes, even in a dangerous world. The sun finally set behind the tall alien spires, casting long shadows over the market. For a moment the city seemed peaceful, though the soldier knew better. Challenges would come again, and when they did, humans would face them with courage, wit, and ingenuity. For now, though, they had survived, protected each other, and shown that even the smallest humans could make a difference. The cat warrior stayed close as they walked home, silent but thoughtful. He had witnessed something rare, humans who could fight without fear, think without hesitation, and act without limits imposed by size or strength. The human soldier's children had already begun shaping his understanding of their species in ways that he would not soon forget. As the group disappeared into the twisting streets of the city, the shadows shifted, and the unseen eyes of others watched. The market was quiet for now, but the ripple of human ingenuity and bravery would not soon be forgotten. The soldier tightened his grip on his children's hands, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also the unmistakable pride that came from knowing his species, and even his young children, could stand tall against the odds. The night settled over the city, wrapping the streets in. Darkness punctuated by glowing lanterns and neon signs. The market, once chaotic and vibrant, was quieter now, yet the tension in the air had not faded. The human soldier walked with his twins close by, the cat warrior moving silently beside them. Each step was measured, careful, as if the city itself were watching. The soldier's instincts remained sharp, every shadow and movement analyzed, every sound catalogued. He had faced dangers across galaxies, yet there was something about this city, and the rival warrior still lurking somewhere, that set his nerves on edge. The twins, though exhausted from the day's events, remained animated. Their small hands gripped their father's tightly, and their eyes darted to every glowing stall or mechanical toy that caught their attention. "Do you think he'll come back?" the boy whispered, his voice a mix of excitement and concern. The soldier shook his head slightly. "Perhaps, but we will be ready." The cat warrior's ears twitched at the mention of the rival. "He is skilled," he said quietly. "But humans, your species fights differently. I see it now. You do not rely on brute strength alone." The soldier nodded. "We rely on thinking, planning, and using every advantage we have. Sometimes that's enough to turn the tide." They reached a quiet alley near their temporary residence, where crates and barrels blocked any easy entry. The twins had already begun to play, their laughter echoing softly, while the cat warrior observed from a short distance, alert and silent. The soldier allowed himself a moment of peace, though it was brief. Suddenly, a shadow moved across the alley, and the rival warrior appeared. He stepped out from the darkness with deliberate, careful movements, his eyes scanning the area until they landed on the human soldier. The soldier's chest tightened. Recognition flashed in his mind. The rival's face, sharp and hard, carried memories of battles fought long ago, of comrades lost, of strategies tested and failed. "You again," the rival said, voice low but filled with menace. "I thought I had seen the last of you." The soldier did not flinch. His training kicked in immediately, every muscle tensed, every sense heightened. "And yet you stand here," he said evenly, though his mind raced, recalling the battles, the ambushes, the close calls that had brought him to this moment. The twins watched from behind their father, their small faces serious. They did not fully understand the history, but they understood danger. Their hands clenched, ready to act if needed. The cat warrior moved slightly forward, positioning himself between the rival and the twins. "You will not harm them," he said. His voice carried authority but also a measured calm. The rival's lips curled into a smirk. "They are nothing. You, however," he glanced at the human soldier. "You are the one I want." Memories came flooding back to the soldier, fights on barren planets, firefights aboard starships, battles where he had faced overwhelming odds. He felt a chill run down his spine, the familiar weight of responsibility pressing on him. But he did not show fear. He never had, not when it mattered most. The cat warrior attacked first, moving with speed and precision, striking to distract and test the rival. The rival countered smoothly, his skill evident in every movement. The twins, however, had their own role. The boy darted between crates, signaling to his sister, who quickly tipped over a barrel to block the rival's path. Their small hands moved with surprising efficiency, each action disrupting the opponent's strategy in subtle but meaningful ways. The human soldier did not attack directly. Instead, he moved strategically, positioning himself to control the space, cutting off escape routes and anticipating the rival's actions. His mind raced with calculations, recalling techniques from years of combat, adapting them to the present situation with his children and the cat warrior at the center. The rival's confidence wavered. He was strong and experienced, but he had underestimated the humans. The unpredictability of their actions, their quick thinking and improvisation, disrupted his rhythm. Every time he adjusted, the twins and the cat warrior shifted, forcing him to rethink his strategy. "You fight differently than I expected," the rival growled. "Humans, small, weak, yet clever, I should have remembered." The soldier's voice was calm, steady, carrying authority without raising it. "Strength is not always the answer. Humans survive because we adapt, because we think, because we protect those we care about." The twins, hearing this, felt a surge of pride. They had been part of the plan, part of the strategy, and their actions mattered. Their small size, their quick thinking, their fearlessness, they were proof that humans could challenge even the strongest opponents. The fight continued, each move a test of skill, strategy, and instinct. The rival warrior lunged, striking with speed, but the twins anticipated his movements. The girl pulled a rope she had found earlier, tripping the opponent slightly, while the boy threw a small crate in his path, forcing him to stumble. The cat warrior struck again, forcing the rival backward, buying time for the human soldier to act. With careful timing, the soldier advanced, positioning himself to corner the rival. Every step, every movement was precise, calculated. The rival realized too late that he had underestimated not only the cat warrior but the humans. He was strong, skilled, but he could not account for the ingenuity, adaptability, and teamwork of this unlikely group. Finally, the twins executed their final maneuver. A crate, carefully balanced, fell, blocking the rival's path and creating confusion. The cat warrior lunged, striking a calculated blow that forced the rival to retreat. He hissed in frustration, eyes narrowing, and disappeared into the shadows, leaving the alley quiet once more. The human soldier breathed slowly, releasing the tension that had gripped him for moments that felt like hours. The twins ran to him, their small hands grabbing his arms, their faces flushed with excitement and pride. "We did it!" the boy shouted. "Yes," the girl added, her voice bright and full of energy. "We helped him," the cat warrior observed quietly, ears twitching. He was impressed, deeply impressed. Humans were not strong compared to some alien warriors, but their cleverness, courage, and ability to act in unison made them formidable. Even children, small and seemingly fragile, could change the outcome of battles through strategy, creativity, and quick thinking. "You are remarkable," the cat warrior said finally, his voice soft but full of respect. "Your species, humans, you fight not just with strength but with intelligence, with courage, with bonds that make you stronger than you seem." The twins beamed, clearly proud of the praise, while the human soldier allowed himself a small smile. He had always known humans were capable of great things, but seeing it reflected in his children, in their quick thinking and fearlessness, filled him with a deep sense of pride. The alley returned to quiet, though the city's shadows seemed to move with life of their own. The soldier knew the rival would not disappear completely. Challenges would come again, but for now they had prevailed. And in that victory he saw proof of what humanity could achieve: cleverness, resilience, courage, and the willingness to act, even when the odds seemed impossible. The twins ran ahead, laughing and playing, their small forms darting through the alley. The cat warrior followed, still cautious but intrigued by the human's unique strength. The soldier walked behind them, steady, vigilant, yet quietly proud. As they returned to their temporary home, the soldier reflected on what had happened. Humanity survived not because it was the strongest, but because it was unpredictable, clever, and fearless when it mattered most. His children had demonstrated that perfectly. Even small humans, if they thought carefully and acted bravely, could overcome much larger, stronger foes. The cat warrior glanced at him, silent for a moment. Then he spoke, voice low and thoughtful. "I will not forget this day. Humans, you are different." "Stronger in ways I did not understand before," the soldier nodded. "And that is why we survive, because we adapt, because we think, because we protect each other." The night deepened, wrapping the city in quiet shadows. For now, peace had returned, but the soldier knew that challenges awaited them. Yet he also knew that with courage, intelligence, and the bonds of family, humans could face whatever came next. His children had proven it, and he had seen it with his own eyes. In the distance, the market lights flickered faintly, as if the city itself were acknowledging the small humans who had stood against danger and emerged victorious. The human soldier held his children's hands, the cat warrior walking beside them, and together they moved forward, ready for whatever the future might bring. For humanity, strength was not only in muscle or weapons. Strength was in cleverness, courage, adaptability, and the will to act even when the outcome was uncertain. And in that, humans, no matter how small or young, were truly formidable. Morning came slowly over the alien city, casting soft golden light across the tall spires and winding streets. The market, once chaotic and tense, was stirring again with life, though the memory of last night's events lingered like a quiet echo. The human soldier walked alongside his twins, the cat warrior close at his side. Despite the early hour, the city already hummed with activity. Vendors setting up stalls, aliens of various shapes and sizes moving through the streets, and the subtle shimmer of floating lanterns catching the light. The soldier felt a quiet sense of responsibility. The rival warrior had disappeared, but the threat remained. Experience had taught him that danger could return in the blink of an eye. His twins, unaware of the weight of what had happened, skipped along beside him, their laughter light and bright. They paused often, pointing at curious items and asking endless questions, each one a reminder of humanity's curiosity and resilience. The cat warrior's ears twitched. "The rival may return," he said softly. "We must be vigilant." "Yes," the soldier agreed. "But we will face him as a team." They reached the market square, the heart of the city, where vendors called out their wares and crowds bustled between stalls. The twins darted ahead, exploring every corner, while the soldier and the cat warrior observed quietly. Despite the morning calm, tension hung in the air, as if the city itself were holding its breath. Suddenly, a movement caught the soldier's eye. Across the square, the rival warrior emerged from the shadows, his presence commanding attention. His gaze immediately found the cat warrior and the human soldier. There was no hesitation in his stride. He moved with purpose and confidence. The soldier felt the familiar weight of strategy and instinct settling over him. This confrontation was inevitable. The twins noticed the figure as well. "He's back," the girl shouted, running toward her father. "Do we have to fight again?" "Yes," the soldier replied calmly, kneeling to meet their gaze. "But we are ready. Remember everything you've learned. Stay clever, stay together, and stay safe." The cat warrior crouched low, tail swishing, ready to act. "We fight not with anger, but with skill and strategy. That is our advantage," he said. The rival warrior approached, eyes narrowing. "I see your little humans are still alive," he said, his voice sharp with contempt. "And you, soldier, you have not changed, still clever, still cautious. But today your luck ends." The soldier remained calm, every instinct alert. "Luck is not what survives," he said. "It is courage, intelligence, and unity. Today will prove it." The rival lunged, moving with speed and strength that could have overwhelmed many opponents. But the human soldier and the cat warrior were ready. The twins, though small, immediately sprang into action. The boy darted between the rival's legs, tripping him just enough to slow his advance. The girl tipped over a cart, creating an obstacle that forced the rival to adjust his movements. Every action was precise, clever, and unexpected. The cat warrior attacked with calculated strikes, testing the rival's skill while remaining agile and alert. The soldier moved strategically, cutting off escape routes, guiding the twins, and creating openings for his allies. Each step, each maneuver, was a blend of experience and quick thinking. The rival, powerful and skilled, began to realize that he had underestimated them. Strength alone would not win this battle. The twins worked together seamlessly. The girl found a loose rope hanging from a nearby stall and used it to entangle one of the rival's weapons. The boy, noticing the rival's focus on the cat warrior, dropped a crate to force him to shift his attention. Their teamwork was instinctive, a natural extension of the lessons they had learned from their father and the cat warrior. The rival's frustration grew. "Humans, so small, yet so clever," he muttered under his breath. "And this cat, how did I not see this coming?" The soldier's mind was focused, every calculation precise. He had faced many adversaries, but the combination of his children's ingenuity and the cat warrior's skill created a force that no brute strength could overcome. He used the environment to their advantage, guiding the rival into narrow spaces where his size and power were limited, while the twins disrupted his movements with clever improvisation. Finally, the soldier saw the opportunity. The rival was off balance, reacting to the twins' distractions and the cat warrior's precise strikes. With careful timing, he moved to corner the opponent. The rival lunged one last time, but the twins, anticipating the move, executed a perfect maneuver. A crate toppled, blocking his path, while the cat warrior struck with a swift but non-lethal blow. The rival stumbled and fell, forced to retreat once again. He glared at them from the shadows, eyes filled with frustration and disbelief. "This is not over," he hissed before disappearing into the alleyways. The soldier exhaled slowly, releasing the tension that had gripped him for what felt like hours. He turned to his twins, who were breathless with excitement. "You did wonderfully," he said, his voice filled with pride. "Every one of you played a part. Courage, cleverness, and teamwork, that is what won today." The twins beamed, their small faces glowing with pride. "We helped," the boy said. "We really helped." Yes, the girl added, nodding vigorously. We saved him too. She glanced at the cat warrior, who watched them with a rare softness in his eyes. You are remarkable, the cat warrior said, his voice low but full of respect. Your species, humans, you fight not with brute strength, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. Even the smallest humans can change the outcome of battles. The twins laughed and ran around the square, chasing each other in circles, their energy seemingly limitless. The soldier allowed himself a small smile, watching them with quiet pride. In their laughter and cleverness, he saw the essence of humanity, resilient, unpredictable, and unafraid to face challenges, no matter the size of the opponent. The cat warrior's tail twitched. I have underestimated humans before, he said quietly. But today I see the truth. Your species survives, thrives, and excels not because of size or strength, but because of your mind and your courage. And these little ones, they embody that spirit perfectly. The human soldier nodded. That is why humanity endures. We adapt, we protect each other, and we act when it matters most. Strength alone is not enough. Cleverness, courage, and unity make us formidable. As the sun climbed higher, casting warm light over the market, the city seemed to breathe again. The rival had been forced to retreat, the market was safe, and the small humans had proven that courage and ingenuity could overcome even the greatest threats. The twins ran to their father, laughter in their voices, hands clutching his tightly. The cat warrior followed silently, a thoughtful expression on his face. Together they walked through the market, observing the alien vendors and citizens going about their day. There was a sense of calm, but also of quiet respect from those who had witnessed or heard of the events that had unfolded. The soldier glanced down at his children, pride swelling in his chest. They were small, yes, but their courage and cleverness had turned the tide. He had always known humans were capable of great things, but seeing it reflected in his children, seeing them act with instinct, bravery, and intelligence, filled him with a deep sense of hope for the future. The cat warrior paused, ears twitching, then spoke. I will not forget this day. Humans, you are different, stronger in ways I did not understand before. Your species, your courage, and your unity, it is something rare and powerful. The soldier nodded. And that is why we survive. Because we care, because we think, and because we act. And because we stand together no matter the odds. The twins ran ahead again, their laughter echoing through the streets, while the cat warrior followed at a careful distance. The soldier walked behind them, steady and vigilant, yet quietly proud. He knew challenges would come again, but he also knew that with courage, intelligence, and the bonds of family, humans could face anything. As they left the market and made their way toward their home, the city seemed alive with possibility. The sun's light glinted off metal and stone, illuminating a world filled with both danger and wonder. The soldier held his children's hands tightly, the cat warrior walking beside them, and together they moved forward, ready for whatever might come next. The rival warrior's shadow still lingered somewhere in the city, but it mattered little. Humans had proven once more that they were clever, courageous, and unpredictable. Even the smallest and youngest among them could change the outcome of battles, outthink stronger foes, and survive against impossible odds. For humanity, strength was not only in weapons or muscle. It was in ingenuity, courage, adaptability, and the will to protect those they loved. And in that, humans, no matter how small, young, or seemingly fragile, were truly formidable. As the city bathed in morning light, the human soldier, his twins, and the cat warrior walked together, a quiet team bound by courage, intelligence, and trust. And somewhere deep within the twisting streets and glowing lanterns, the city seemed to acknowledge the small humans who had stood tall, faced danger, and emerged victorious. For now, they were safe. And the human soldier knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, with courage, wit, and the indomitable spirit that made humanity truly extraordinary.